It's all about the gun. In the days of darkness, when there is no hope for light, the only thing you can do is try and survive. Equalizer 2000. This is the 1986 or 1987 post-apocalyptic sci-fi action film from director Sergio H. Santiago. The plot. Alaska has been heated over. A desert is what has become of it. In that heat, a man and a gun came to be. Every colony in this war-torn world is against each other, and it's up to a weapon to bring equality for the future's sake. I love the concept. A gun that is so powerful that it not only scares away baddies, but it unites people as well? Yes, please. The weapon is poorly constructed in terms of how the film was made, and it looks like it was duct taped together, but that just adds to the charm. Most of the characters are a bit stock. We get the man of few words, a stunning looker of a woman, a visually memorable bad guy and right-hand baddie, as well as tons of oddly dressed extras. And there is one name that is highly memorable in this film, and that is an at the time unknown Robert Patrick. Robert Patrick plays the main bad guy. Although during an interview with Frederick Bailey, it cuts to one of the side henchmen, who does kind of resemble Patrick, but ultimately is a case of poor attention to characters and editing. Speaking of Frederick Bailey, he has an interesting backstory which I've discussed in my review of Wheels of Fire, which he also wrote. In layman's terms, he was persistent and got to achieve his goal of working with Corman, which is pretty awesome. So with some decent characters and acting aside, this film does have some issues. I'm not taking them very seriously besides two that I need to discuss. The gunfights in this movie are prolonged to the point of utter boredom. I think if 3 to 5 minutes of fight scenes could have been shaved off, then the action would have flowed so much more smoothly. I get it, they had to stretch it to a workable runtime, but instead of spending time on the characters or giving a better sex scene between the two main leads, we are treated to non-stop gunfights that in the end don't solve much anyways. Yes, there's a resolution after the climax, but it is all destroyed when they discard their weapons. No more war. Okay, I get it. What happens if some other gang comes along? They'd be royally screwed. The world is bigger than the gravel pit this was mostly filmed in. Also, the film has pacing issues. It's either way too slow or boring in parts. If you can accept tons upon tons of action that is virtually all the same in terms of fight choreography, then more power to you. However, besides a cool bit with a flamethrower, the action is rather rinse and repeat. The gore, the effects, some bright red blood comes out of bullet hits, but nothing much more. It's rather tame. The motion picture soundtrack is catchy but cheesy. I don't think it was all too neither memorable nor inventive. I actually preferred watching Striker over Equalizer 2000. This was boring, uninventive, and only made for two reasons: the desert Alaska setting and the gun. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate post-apocalyptic movies, but some of them are just clearly stinkers, and this unfortunately is one of them. Overall, I give Equalizer 2000 a 1 out of 5. Lion Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and to leave comments and subscribe.